welcome into another edition of The Session with Londa and David. My name is David Austin.
I'm Londa Sherwood Austin. Welcome.
I'm very excited about this program, and here's why. I love that red on you. That jacket, you look like a realtor lady, and I like that. Pretty realtor lady.
Thank you. I don't know if it's in my color palette. You guys, I had my colors done, and for those of you might remember back from the 80s, this is nothing new, but it's kind of making a resurgence, I guess. And yeah, millennials are discovering color theory, and so this franchise company, House of Color, that's out of the UK, there are some consultants or whatever they're called here in the US, and they charge for you to come in and have your colors done. And basically this is the way that it works, is they make you look as ugly as possible, and then they put all different kind of color swatches. I almost said squatches.
Don't they put like a white base smock on you to wash away all the color?
So you have this white smock, and then you have a like a neutral thing that goes over it.
Okay.
No makeup, hairnet.
Hairnet. Okay, so you immediately you become a lunch lady.
And you're sitting in front of a giant mirror with lots of natural light. And thank God for my blue eyes. It's the only thing that got me through. I thought, well, at least I have those.
Well, and your hair color's really pretty.
You couldn't see it. It's under a hairnet.
Is the hairnet a different color than your hair, or is it one of those invisible hairnet? Oh. It's like a shower cap.
I mean, it's not, I don't know. Anyway, so, and then they start color draping to figure out what season you are. And then within the season, there's some nuances. And so I know you're all dying to know that I'm a deep summer. And you might ask me, what does that mean? I don't really know. But here's what I do know.
I don't really know.
What I do know about it is I love wearing the color black. I wear lots of black. I'm wearing it right now. Don't tell my color theory lady. Heidi, you're not seeing this. Heidi's not seeing it anyway.
No, she doesn't even live here.
Anyway, yeah, I had it done.
And I say that like this is on local television. It's not.
I had it done in Wisconsin. So, if you live locally, don't ask me where to go. Well, yeah, you could go to Wisconsin. She's very nice. Anyway, so what I did, I love wearing black. I wear a lot of black. I always have. It's just a comfort color for me, which it is for a lot of people. Turns out not supposed to wear black at all. So the easiest thing for me to do is I came home and I took all of the black clothes out of the main part of my closet, and I just put them to the side.
Okay.
So I had to go digging for this today.
I like it. Is that a bodysuit? A black bodysuit?
Yeah.
Love that.
So I just did that, and then anything that was obviously not, like, I knew there were some things in my closet that I knew were autumn colors, and then I knew I had a few things that were like really deep, dark, rich jewel tones, which is also a winter thing. So I just moved all those things that were obvious to me. So now I'm working with these, and I'm just trying to wear colors that I think maybe are not. And so I'm figuring it out. The fun that I've had, though, is I'm wearing a lot more color.
Which is nice. And you look lovely, and I'm very excited about it.
So this red, I don't know.
I don't think it's in the color palette that they showed you.
I don't think so.
You got a pinky kind of red that they like. That's
and then there's
red.
a deeper one.
Right.
It's very confusing. She did say to me, if it goes in a wine glass, it's probably in your color palette.
Right. And that would be weird looking wine.
Yeah.
Weird looking wine.
So
although it looks like you're an administrator at my college, the University of Louisiana at Lafayette, because
which
that
is why
the
I
Ragin'
quit
Cajun
wearing
red.
it, which is why I quit wearing my other red blazer, because every time I wore it, you made that comment, and I was like, okay.
But I really like it. Your
anyway.
Red blazer with a white dress. You wore a white dress.
Yeah, that white dress is not in my closet anymore, not because it's not in my color palette, but because it doesn't fit, because...
You're all jacked up from working out.
No, as you know, if you listen to this program, I am a woman of a certain age. I'm post-menopause, 5 years now? Mm-hmm. And as time goes on, your body shape changes. And for any of you wanting to know, because again, I know you're dying to know, the reason that you kind of widen out in the middle in menopause is because estrogen settles in pockets of fat.
Interesting.
So as your body is like clinging to the last singular drops of estrogen that you have, it stores it in the fat. And so your middle gets a little bit
What's
wider.
the hormone that starts with a C? And if you're stressed out, it stores up?
Cortisol?
Yep, cortisol. Is that related to that as well? Because
Sure. A lot of women in menopause or post-menopause have higher cortisol levels.
Right.
It's all interconnected.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all. This isn't the menopause episode, but
It's not. But
no.
It's
But
something you're interested in discussing, though, and you should be, because it's affecting your life. You know what I mean?
It's affecting your life too.
Well, yes, and it's a lovely, lovely experience to venture this with you.
I went to my dermatologist yesterday for my annual exam, and one more year cancer-free for the skin. So I'm
That's
excited
awesome.
about that. So I got the all clear. Very relieved because I had some spots that were concerning me. And she said, I, of course, was talking about being postmenopause and have noticed my skin has gotten a lot thinner the last year and, you know, just some changes in my skin because that's what we're there to talk about. And she said, if you could sum up being a woman in postmenopause for me, what would you say? And I said, well, that's a very interesting question. Nobody's ever asked me that before. But what I would say is you care much more about the things that bring you joy and are lasting. And I guess it's a little bit of mortality motivation, right? The things that don't really give you joy or bring you joy or give you peace or, you know, those kind of things you don't really concern yourself with as much.
Interesting.
And you're much more focused on the things that, I guess, legacy kind of things, like the thing. Yeah. Anyway, so.
What do you mean by legacy things? Because I don't understand that.
Lasting things that will last beyond you.
Oh, is that a
Right?
concern for you? Do you think about that?
All the time.
Yeah, I really don't.
I all the time am thinking, what am I going to leave behind? You know, what's important for me to leave behind? What do I want to accomplish before I, you know, cross over?
The Rainbow Bridge.
Yeah,
as
yeah.
it were.
I do think
The
about
bridge
that.
to Terabithia.
I do think about that, and if I think about it for too long, I get a little depresso espresso.
Yeah. So
Because what does any of it matter?
Right.
Right.
I was rewatching an episode of Boston Legal just yesterday, and that's a show you had never seen.
That was
Right?
me opening the vault.
Okay, and you had never seen the show.
No, not that I can
But
think
it's
of.
funny because Denny Crane, who's one of the main characters, played by William Shatner, he did a monologue about how he's not a tomorrow person, he's a today person. He's thinking about today and living to the fullest each and every day. And tomorrow kind of scares him because he's at an age where in the show, tomorrow could be it. As is now the real William Shatner, 24 years after that show aired originally, 22 years after that show aired originally, and he's still kicking.
Yeah.
And probably still thinking about today, not tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't really have a lot of thoughts about legacy and what I'm going to leave behind. I think I want to be like a Boy Scout. I want to police my campsite and leave it better than I found it, and that's it.
That's a great thing to focus on. That's a legacy thought.
You know what I mean, though?
Yeah.
When I'm gone, I want everything to be just as good as it was before I came along.
Yeah.
And that means everything. I want environmental things to be just as good as they were before I came along. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like mowing the grass. I want the next guy who walks into my grass mowing job to be, oh, this won't be so hard after all. You know, and
Yeah.
that's pretty much it. That's all I think about as far as when I'm gone.
Yeah.
Because yuck, right?
Well, I mean, I just think more about, you know, what I guess my circle has gotten smaller.
Right.
Right.
Sure.
A little tighter.
And I know for sure that the one thing I care most about is you when I'm gone. Because when I had that thing and went to the hospital because I thought my heart was doing something weird.
Yeah.
And it was just a muscle pull in my chest, I thought, how sad will it be to not see you again?
Oh.
That's literally was the only thought I had about that.
So speaking of your life flashing before your eyes.
Uh-huh.
So we were out showing a property. I want to tell this story. We were out showing a property recently with, thank goodness, some of the chillest clients ever.
Right. And before you tell the story,
yeah,
I didn't know any of this was going on while we were there until we walked outside, but I did have a weird thought one moment before we walked out the front door, and I'll hold it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
When do you want to share that? Because you might forget.
I won't forget.
Oh, okay. So we go to show this property. It's been vacant for a couple months. The grass is dead and everything's a little overgrown. It looks a little disheveled and, it's clearly empty, right? And the listing...
The sellers were relocated, I believe.
Yeah. So the list agent tells me, hey, it's vacant. Just go anytime. But I made an appointment anyway, right?
Because that's what you do.
Yeah. So we go in and somebody says, one of our clients says, it looks like somebody just took a shower. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. And then I thought I overheard her say that the washer was running. But I think in hindsight, I think she was saying the toilet was running. But I thought in my brain, the washer was running.
It was in the laundry room downstairs, though.
Right. And then there was stuff in the refrigerator.
Yeah.
Which you don't usually see in a vacant house.
Right.
Usually it's empty. There were like half drunk bottles of
tea,
beverages,
and water.
The TV was on.
The TV was on when we walked in. That was weird.
Are you guys picking up what we're putting down here?
Seemed like somebody was there.
Seemed like somebody had just been there.
Right.
And so I as we were going through the showing, right, I'm texting the list agent like, hey, I know you said this was vacant, but just a heads up, it kind of seems like somebody maybe has been here. Here's what we've found.
And I haven't paid attention at all at this point in the conversation. Yeah. I'm unaware that people thought other people were there. I thought maybe the TV was left on after a showing. Yeah. That's what I thought.
So people don't usually turn a TV on at a showing.
Unless there's a giant one on the wall and they want to see if it's operational.
Okay, I've never had that happen in my whole career, but it could happen. Sure, it could.
Our client who bought in Pasco just December.
Okay, well,
turned on the TV when we were in the house.
I'm wrong.
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
It's not a big deal. I just want to tell the story, though.
Yeah.
Okay, so then I'm texting him, and he's like, "Oh, there shouldn't be anybody. Let me." He goes, well, maybe the sister of the seller, she maybe comes by sometimes to maintain the yard. And I was like, ain't nobody maintained this yard in a long time.
It ain't maintained.
No, sir. And our clients are like, why does it look like shit? And I said, well, and I always use this opportunity to say, well, because, not every realtor has the same standard that we have. When we have a vacant listing, here's what we do, but everybody does it differently.
Right.
And who knows what the client's agreement was or what their instructions were or whatever. So anyway, so we go through the house and then I think I got one more text from the listing agent. And then, I didn't really think much of it. I'm like, you should probably get over here and check on this a little more often, maybe. So now we're leaving. We're at the front door.
Pause. Right before we leave, I'm turning off lights in the house.
As we do.
And there's a closet at the bottom of the stairs.
Stop it. Stop.
At the bottom of the stairs, there's a closet. And I thought, I haven't looked in this closet. And I went to touch the door, and I thought, what if somebody's in this closet? And I never knew that you guys were talking about that or any of that. And I opened the door, and no one was in the closet.
Oh.
No one was in the closet, thankfully. But for some weird reason, I had a weird feeling.
Well, because you and I, we are on the same wavelength,
Yeah,
right?
but I didn't know any of the stuff was going on with people talking about someone had taken a shower and all that.
You've literally said to me while we're driving in the car, and I'll be thinking something, and like I'll think a question and you answer.
Right. Yeah, that happens all the time.
And I go, how did you know that? I didn't say it out loud. You were just like, so I think we share a frequency.
Oh,
so
that's
that might have been
exactly
it.
right.
We walk out the front door and our client who was in front of us goes, oh, well, that's never good, as she's looking down the street. And I said, as 3 police cars are approaching. And I said, she goes, well, I wonder what's going on. I said, well, she said, I wonder if they're here for us. I said, just in case they're not, get the kids in the car.
Right.
Because what if something's popping off in the neighborhood
Sure.
and somebody comes running out of a house, guns a-blazing, and you've got your little grandbabies out here.
That's right.
Let's secure up the perimeter, right? Anyway, so they get out very casually.
Yeah.
Thumbs hooked in the vest, as they do. One thumb hooked in the vest, one on
hand
the
on
hip,
a gun.
hand on the hip.
No gun drawn or anything, but
No.
hand at the ready just in case something pops off.
That's just how they do. So I was like, hey, fellas, what's going on? Were you the ones that called? I said, I sure wasn't, but what's happening? I go, I'm a realtor. We were just showing this property. Did somebody in the neighborhood call thinking there was, something going on? So then we start exchanging, like they're asking me questions and
Right.
they're like, how long is the seller being? I'm like, I don't know. You'd have to call that guy. And I point to the, for sale sign because it's got his name. And they ask us a bunch of questions and then they're like, well, we need to go call this guy. And so as they're kind of walking away, I call this guy, right? I call the list agent. And as it's ringing, I see him, he's tearing down the street and he pulls up and I'm like, hey, when he gets out of the car, he's the one who called them.
Okay.
He didn't know we were still there.
Right.
And it was a long showing. They liked the house. And so it was like 40 minutes we'd been in there.
That's exactly right.
And so he's like, oh my gosh, I feel so bad. I should have called you and told you I called the police. But he was just freaked out because of what I said, and I told him what I observed and what our client observed. And so they did go in and they searched the house and
didn't find anybody.
They didn't find anybody, but let me tell you something interesting. So the backyard backs up to a public park and it has a gate.
Yeah.
So if there was somebody in there, they went right out the gate. But that brings me to an interesting statistic that you shared with me recently. Mm-hmm. And what was that? And do you remember the source?
I was watching CBS News and they quoted some study that says 98% of all vacant houses experience some sort of vandalism. 98%. And that could be as simple as kids throwing rocks at the back windows and breaking a window. That could also be like the Leave It to Beaver episode where he was playing at the new construction site and ripped his sport coat on a nail. Do you remember that? Ward told the Beav to stay away from the construction site and he ripped his
I'm familiar with
Sunday
this show,
best.
but I've never watched it.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Leave It to Beaver?
That was way before my time.
Wow. I've met Tony Dow. He played Wally.
Okay.
The older brother
Awesome.
on Leave It to Beaver. Mm-hmm. He lived in Orlando for a while, and I met him there when I was at Disney.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So back to this story. 98% of vacant listings are vandalized in the U.S. So
Yes.
I would say it matters who your agent is. And let me just tell you, in case you were curious, again, you're all dying to know, when we have a vacant listing, we go by the house at least twice a week.
Yes.
We go to, and usually after every showing.
Right.
We want to vacuum and sweep and make sure everything's presentable. We flush the toilets. We run the sinks. We just check on and it's a damn good thing we do because I walked into one of our vacant listings one time and there were French doors off the dining room. They were wide open.
Fully open.
Because someone hadn't latched both locks.
Right.
And the wind had
and it was a windy weekend.
Blown them right open.
Yep.
And
that was a freaky experience because I had to go through the house ready to fight some intruder.
Well, when you find a house like that, you should call the police and have them search
That was a crazy listing. That was the one where the fence blew down.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Yeah. And the backdoor neighbor called us and said, hey, the fence is down. And then we found out the neighbor was responsible for the fence. I was like, nice try. Great. Thanks for letting us know. When are you going to fix it?
Yeah.
Anyway, so...
that person was a renter, and that's why they didn't know.
Yeah. So, anyway, we've had some crazy things happen. So we had... I found a stock photo of a police car because I didn't want to, take pictures of the actual officers that showed up. They have
We're
families.
not doxing anybody.
Yeah, they've got families and stuff. And so, but I found a stock photo of a police car, and then to put on social media, and I was like, yeah, but did you have 3 of KPD's finest show up at your, house tour today? And then I also screenshot our client's text that she sent us. She said, we always have so much fun with you guys.
Well, and who knows? They did like this house. This could be the one. And guess what? There's room to negotiate now that we know there's a squatter. We don't know there's a squatter.
We don't. It could be nothing. But what's funny, the funniest part of this whole thing, and I haven't even told you this yet, is I posted on social media and we had people like, oh my gosh, you have to do a story time. We needed to tell us more. What the heck happened? Whatever. So my text was, yeah, but did you have 3 of KPD's finest roll up on your showing, right? Well, one of our other clients, Ty, he private messaged me from my story and said, nope, just one Richland cop. And I thought, well, dang, how many times have we been showing properties and had the cops roll up?
Did that happen with him?
Yes.
I don't remember that.
I think at his inspection.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah.
I was there for that.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah.
No,
Yep.
I was there for the follow-up inspection.
Yeah.
Where Ty got under the house himself.
No, that was crazy. Don't tell that story.
That's a great story.
Big liability.
But
it's none of my business.
he is a city inspector, though. So him being under the house was...
So, okay. So here's the thing. This is just story time. We're like show and tell today.
Mm-hmm.
In Washington State, an inspector no longer has to go into a crawl space that is not at least 24 inches by 24 inches.
Right.
They're not required.
Right.
So if it's smaller than that, they don't have to go down there. Now, some inspectors have little robots with cameras that they send down, which is pretty cool.
And smart. And, some remote controlled children's toys have those cameras on them now, too.
Oh, interesting.
So that's cool.
So because we have a good part we have some older homes. In Kennewick, we've got homes built in the early 1900s.
Right.
In Richland, we've got a lot of homes built in the 40s because that's kind of when Richland came to be. And so these 1940s homes, which is what our client was looking at, the opening was 12 inches by 12 inches, I think. But there were some pipes hanging down.
It was by 24. It was 12 inches by 24 inches wide.
I don't think it was 18 maybe wide.
Well, his waist is bigger than an 18.
It was, no. He's a tiny, tiny little slip of, whatever it was, 12 inches
it was
tall. Let me tell you.
It was a diameter that I couldn't have gotten through,
12
for sure.
inches tall, and just past the entrance were pipes that made the opening actually only 10 inches.
Right.
And our client suited up in like a, hazmat suit and went down there and crawled around. And the inspector, bless his heart, laid there with his head down in the hole, got in as far as he could, telling him where to go and what to look for.
Right.
It was crazy. He came out having a panic attack. It was terrible because he all of a sudden got claustrophobic as he was coming out.
Right.
And so, it was...
That would not have worked for me. Here's the thing. Our inspector's smaller than me. So if I had been there, there's no way I could have gotten in that hole. You know what I mean?
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So anyway, that
was a fun experience. And that client to me is a superhero.
Oh, for sure.
And I love that guy.
Yeah.
And if he called me today and said, hey, David, I need help moving a body, I'd go help him.
I would.
That's how much I like that
not
kid.
Saying that on camera. If you know me, you know whether or not I would help. but I'm not saying it on tape, as it were.
That's silly.
Yeah. What other crazy stories do you have to share?
I don't know.
Okay, well, then let's talk about the 4th of July coming up. To America 250 or
America
whatever.
250, and it's going to be a fun time. I just remember the actual bicentennial 50 years ago.
Yeah.
Little 4-year-old David Austin.
Very different world.
Very different world. Had a yellow tricycle and a little Native American outfit, and I had the headdress and everything and rode my tricycle in the New York City 4th of July parade.
That's adorable. Is there a photo of that? Does that exist?
That does exist. And Johnny Ferrara may have it, and he was dressed as a little tiny cowboy, and he was on his big wheel, I think.
Merca.
And if you don't know...
Was your dad smoking a Pall Mall?
No, he was
'Cause
making
that's
eggs
pretty
and smoking.
American, too.
My mom was a big smoker at that time, but my dad probably had a beer in the city, a can of beer with a pull tab that came all the way off.
Yeah, I remember those.
Yeah, probably Pabst
I
or
think
Schlitz.
I think this time of year, there's maybe a little something wrong with you if you don't feel patriotic.
I think that's absolutely true.
You know what I mean? Like there's something about all the 4th of July stuff and we're turning 250 years old and you go to a small town parade and you go watch the fireworks and maybe you get together with your family or whatever. There's something that happens that's every time we have a holiday like this, I always think, that's right. Get out your front door and go be with people.
And it has nothing
And
to do...
it will encourage
Sure.
you about the world, because sometimes it can feel a little heavy. And
Well, it's the exact same reason I like to go to church, right? When I go for Trombone Sunday and play my trombone and I'm around all those people at the church, I feel like I've done something good in the world. You know what I mean? And I feel the exact same way about patriotic events.
Yeah.
I love to go to like museums. Like when I was driving to Boise, I stopped at one of the cities on that road and went to the natatorium there. And it's their city museum. It used to be the natatorium, the pool.
What the hell's a
right?
natatorium?
Baker City is what it was.
Oh.
A natatorium is a place to swim.
Oh.
And that was the building that had the city pool in it.
How
well,
is
now
that
it's
again?
the museum. Swim. I did my swim move, right? So I love that because I got to learn the history of Baker City. And why would anybody want to do that, right? Well, I don't know. I was there. That's why I wanted to do it.
yeah, well, there's there's the Oregon Trail and all that too.
Oh, yeah.
There.
And the Donner Party. It's a whole thing.
Anywho, yeah,
I love that stuff, though.
I do too.
And so
And
I can't
you know
wait for the
what?
4th of July. The only thing about the 4th of July that I don't care for is fireworks because they freak me out. And
Yeah.
I don't know if I was injured as a child or, you know what? I do know. I wasn't injured as a child, but my cousin, Michael, firecrackers went off in his hand and it hurt his hand. I remember that now.
Yeah, that's why I like going to like a curated show.
Sure.
My kids were growing up. I took them to the Dust Devils baseball stadium. It's a farm team for the Colorado Rockies, I think.
Right. That's exactly right.
And we would go to the stadium and watch the fireworks because it's curated. There's very low risk of anybody getting hurt.
Right.
And you each have a seat. And so, I could keep track of them.
The last time I did that, I did it with the Pasco Battalion Chief, Don Donis, and I felt safe there because if something jumped off, he would have handled it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'll keep you safe, honey.
Yes.
I'll keep you safe.
The fire chief and I went to the fireworks. I love Don Donis. Happy 4th of July, Don Donis.
Oh, my gosh.
He's probably pretty close to retirement now.
Yeah.
I should call him. I'm a bad friend. I haven't called him in a while. I should call him.
Let's wrap it up with that. I think we should go out with that and
The
call
big
it good.
4th of July episode, America 250. You're wearing red. You're not wearing white and blue, but you are wearing red. And I think you look absolutely beautiful.
Aw.
And I don't care about your color palette. Do you know what I mean? You look
Well,
great.
it is. First of all, I'm not wearing hardly any makeup today, so I'm gonna look, however, whatever. And the color, it really does make a difference in the way that your skin is brighter or darker. It does. It's fun and helpful, but
I can tell you what color I shouldn't wear.
rules are meant to be
That
broken.
rusty orange does not work for me.
Right.
I am not an auto.
There
I
you
can
go.
tell you that right now. For Londa, Joanne, Sherwood, Austin, I'm David Austin, and this has been another edition of The Session with Londa and David. We'll be right back here next week, and we're going to talk all about the second half of the year in next week's show. We're going to talk about strategic planning and all the things we need to do to make 2026 go out with a bang. Happy 4th of July, everybody.